Like so many of you, I'm feeling an overwhelming mix of emotions today. There's the profound sadness when reading about all of the deaths and the hostages in Israel. There's the anger not only at Hamas, but the thousands of their supporters around the world, including here in Montreal, who refused to denounce this evil under the guise of rights or supporting Palestinians. Alone, these feelings would be enough, but now I know for so many of us, we're also feeling fear. As one headline I read this morning put it well, "We Jews are not okay." Now, as a rabbi, I always try my best to look at everything with a sense of perspective, using the lessons of our history to inform how we react to the challenges we confront today. We know we've experienced loss and tragedy and death before, and we also know that hatred towards Jews and towards Israel is nothing new. But I never thought that I'd have to remind myself of those words which became so powerful after the Holocaust, to never forget. And these words, unfortunately, are needed now more than ever. The images out of Israel, many people, they've compared them to the pogroms of Europe, and the numbers of dead are truly bone-chilling. More Jews murdered in any one day since the Holocaust. This level of death and sadness, it just seems too much for our already broken world to hold. There were already too many cracks, and now instead of light coming in, it's just more darkness. But from a religious perspective, from a spiritual perspective, never forget should not only connect us with the past. It needs to inform our present and allow us to mourn and remember, but also do all that we can to hold on to the life we've got. The solution to this mess, to the war, the death, and the sadness won't be easy. But now is the time to stand tall with pride in the life we have and do all that we can to support each other, to come together as a community. We need to learn together, reflect together. We need to cry together and make sure that we have all the resources and support that we need to survive this tragedy. In the way I see the world, it's in these gatherings, in the space in between, that the love and support we offer each other, in all of this, that godliness dwells. We can't forget that people, the pure evil that some people can perpetrate upon others, is to blame for this horror. But the good and that strength need to be honored for how we'll make our way through this together. Please don't forget each other during these difficult times. Check in with family, friends, and do all that you can to take care of yourself and everyone around you. Please also know that we are here for you at this moment, and that this is what community is made for. I don't care whether you're religious or secular, whether I see you every Shabbat or just once a year. This is the time to be in community because we all need each other. This is the time to stand tall as Jews, and in whatever unique way it means for you, you can be more Jewish, more loving, more for yourself, and more for your community. This is the way that we can honor the dead and also honor the fight for peace and justice in a world that needs us to fight. With this in mind, I hope you can join me this Saturday for a service of healing and hope, online or in person. Instead of our usual Shabbat service, we'll be offering support to each other, doing some learning and reflection, singing, hearing the hopeful Torah reading of Bereshit, which recalls the biblical story of creation, and so much more. I know that this week has already had its share of vigils and rallies, and now is the time to gather as a Dorshei community, to be there for each other. I hope to see you there. This weekend, on Sunday, I'll be officiating at a wedding, a time which of course is meant to be filled with nothing but joy and celebration. With the world as it is, there's no way that the war or our current reality won't seep in. I know that the people watching the happy couple, they'll be smiling and there'll be plenty of reasons to celebrate. But we also know what happens at the end of a wedding ceremony. After the blessings, after the songs and the words of love, we smash a glass. Now, the traditional explanation is that we remember the destruction of the temple and the other tragedies of Jewish history. That's why we smash the glass. But I've also always thought of it much more as a reminder for our present. We need to live, reminding ourselves that every moment is precious, that normalcy can be interrupted by brokenness and pain in an instant. Yet, as we know from so many times before in our history, brokenness can eventually be put together if we reach out to each other, if we remember our past, and we let community guide us, we will make it through. Kol Yisrael Ahavim Zeh Bazeh. All Israel is responsible for each other. We will make our way through this together.